on the gate, on the gate, on the gate, on the gate. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back on the gate again. This one goes out to Troy Lanez, man. We on the gate because right now, everybody on the gate right now talking about what happened to Troy Lanez. You know what I mean? It's messed up what happened to the dog. It's messed up. But that's how prison is, though. You see, let me tell you something. Like one time when I went to this prison, you see what I said? And it was Orleans Correctional Facility. That was like one of the only mediums I ever went to while I was upstate. But you see, the medium prisons, you know what I mean? You got to be careful because that's when the Damus was just coming up north, you understand? And I just turned Damu, you know what I mean? Before I got to that prison, I had turned Damu in Lakeview and shit, you know what I mean? Just came out the box because I had got put in the box in Lakeview, putting in some work on this white boy, you know what I mean? Big white boy too. First, I'll tell you a story about that one. You know what I mean? I ain't catch a loss, but that was a big white boy. Another nigga had to help me in that. You know what I mean? Word up, but put you onto that one later. On another episode on the gate. I gotta remember that one. That was a nice one. But anyway, like I was saying, I was in the box, and then they transferred me to Orleans Correctional Facility when I came out the box. Now, when I came out the box now, SHU, and I went to Orleans, I walked in Orleans, man, and that time Bloods was just coming up north, so a lot of the medium jails were straight Mietas, Latin Kings and Mietas, Latin Kings and Mietas, you know what I mean? Those was the time where if a nigga say he was Blood and he was living in a medium like Green and Washington and all them funny style mediums. I don't even know great metal, one of them shits. But listen, if you was in 9'6", 9'7", 9'8", up to 9'9", if you was living in a medium for so long, you wasn't putting in no work. You wasn't banging. You know what I mean? Niggas wasn't living in medium. Anyway, I went to the medium, so I walked through the yard. But when I walked through the yard, I had niggas that I knew from New York. So when I'm walking, heard one of my dogs. He's the only dog I ever blooded into. He was like, yo, Gia. No, he was like, Matara. So I looked, I said, damn, that's the homie Sleep. All right, cool. Then he was in there with other Jamaicans from 90s and Flatbush and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, but they ain't put me in his dorm. They walked me to another dorm. I think A dorm or B, I don't know what. I forgot how they number them dorms or letter them dorms in Orleans Correction Facility. But they put me in another dorm. They ain't put me in Sleepy them dorm. So when I walked past Sleepy them dorm, they was shouting me out like, yo, son, what's up? You in the place? You in the place? All right, cool. So now I go in the dorm now. Them time that I'm fresh out the box. I was living with some homies in the box that just came up north. So, I'm fully blooded. You know what I mean? I'm kicking the lingo. I got my greens button, 3 buttons up. You know what I mean? Getting my shirt flying. You know what I mean? My pants, creased up and thing like that. Come in the house. I just put my bag and my net bag down on my, cause it's dorm, so you have to walk in and then go into the dorm area and where your beds is. And then you might have double bunks or you got single beds like niggas that think they built like that. You know what I mean? I end up getting a single bed, so instead of the double bunk thing, a lot of old timers get. A lot of old timers get single bunks because they've been there so long. But sometimes be there's double bunks there. So when I got there, I just put down my bag in my cubicle. You know what I mean? I ain't even unpack. I ain't even know what kind of levels was it on, but I ain't even unpack. I just walked in the day room because, when you're in prison and you go to a dorm, it's good to not pack. It's good to just put down your stuff and go to the day room and just walk around the dorm and get familiar because you got to see who's in there and what's popping. Niggas real sneaky when you sleeping. Anyway, so I put down my bag and shit and I'm going in the dorm area. And I'm like, yo, this god body nigga came up to me. He was like, yo, son, let me talk to you. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yo, you blood? I was like, yeah, I'm blood. Why, what's poppin'? I was like, you blood? He's like, nah, I'm god body, but I ride with the Damus. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? I'm like, so what's poppin'? He's like, yo, Bloods don't live here. I was like, Bloods don't live here? I hear that shit. What you mean Bloods don't live here? He's like, yo, they be trying to move on the Damus when they here. You see? That's what I be talking about with prison. Guilty by association. You remember, a lot of that Damu war was on Rikers Island. And they brought it up north. You know what I mean? But there was other Damus that was up north that had respect. That ain't care about what was going on the Rikers Island shit. You know what I mean? Niggas come up with they Rikers. I got stories about niggas coming up from the island I have to give it to. You know what I mean? Anyway. So I'm like, Bloods don't live here. So he was like, yeah, the Mietas, they be moving on the Bloods. I'm like, I hear that shit. So son, at that time they didn't have, he gave me a banger. The god body nigga was like, yo, hold yourself down. You know what I mean? They in here, one of the leaders, that's the leader over there, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, all right, cool. So moved away from me, so I'm circling the day room. These mietas like, Papa, let me talk to you. I'm like, let me talk to you? I'm like, what's up? Like, Papa, you Damu? You Sandre? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm Sandre. What? This nigga is like a $110 soaking wet. I will wash him up right now if he even move on me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I'm Damu. What's up? He was like, yo, Papa, yo, you got to, you can't stay here, Papa. I'm like, I hear that shit. I'm like, yo, listen, man. If y'all gonna do something, y'all do something. You know what I mean? But right now, I ain't packing up. You know what I mean? And if y'all niggas even try to move on me, I'ma move on y'all. He's like, I gotta talk to my leader tomorrow in the yard, man. You gotta come to the yard tomorrow. You know, all call outs is mandatory. I could have just punched him in his face right there, but like I said, I see my nigga Sleepy I used to hustle with in the other dorm next to me. So I'm like, nah, I ain't even gonna punch it. I'm gonna see what these niggas talking about. So I said, Poppy, all right, you talk to your leader tomorrow. And I'm coming to the yard tomorrow, you heard? And when I come to the yard tomorrow, y'all niggas try to sneak me, I'm taking out 3. I told Poppy I'm taking out 3 y'all niggas, straight up. You know what I mean? 3 y'all niggas. So try to sneak me if y'all want. You know what I mean? And I just walked away from son. Fuck out of here. Niggas ain't packing up shit. You know what I mean? And the god bodies, they standing around, so everybody good. That night, I still slept. Because if them niggas gonna do something, they gonna do something because I'm not packing up. They gonna eat me, they gonna do whatever they was do. Anyway, next day, I go to breakfast, you know what I mean? Mad talking and mad, you could see the whispers, the miatas, them. You could see they signaling and this and that. Right now, I'm the only Damu in there. And if there is Damus in there, they playing low key, you know what I mean? Anyway, you know, yard about to come up. We play in the yard. Tension in the jail. The whole Poppy Nation come out. The whole Mieta Nation come out. But them time, like I said, I know some niggas from the 90s. I know some niggas from Flatbush that's in there. Some Rasta nigga kid in them. You know what I mean? They're in there, sleepy them in there. So I'm like, all right, cool. We go in the yard. This nigga named Turtle give me a half a spoon sharpened. That's a poker. Then I had the God body nigga gave me a razor. So they had the Jamaicans at the table where they play soccer. They like, rude boy, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I see like at least 100 poppies in the yard. You know what I mean? In a circle. You know what I mean? On their benches. You know what I mean? The yard is tense, tense. So Poppy, I see Poppy coming towards me. I'm like, yo, what's up, Poppy? He's like, yo, my leader want to talk to you. My leader want to talk. I was like, all right, cool. I got my two hands in my pocket, one hand in my right pocket, right hand in my left pocket, both of them clutching. You know what I mean? Both of them clutching. Ask my nigga Sleepy. Me one walked all the way over there into the yard, into the ball field. You know what I mean? And go in the middle with the Poppy with one Latin King, one Mietas, one God Body. Niggas, I think it was God Body, a Muslim nigga. And they like, yo, what's poppin'? And you know, there's a lot of things going on the island. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what's going on the island. I'm here. My name is so-and-so. And dogs is living. The Bloods is living here while I'm here. The homies is gonna live. They were like, all right, cool. We don't want no problems. And I say, yo, y'all niggas ain't no sneaking shit, rude boy. Because if y'all sneak me, I swear to my mother, I'm going to take out at least 2 of y'all niggas right now, rude boy. So they were talking and they was like, yo, all right, then you in charge of all the Bloods that come in here, as long as there's no sneak thieving, because that's what they was afraid of, you know, the sneak thieving and all of that. So I'm like, yo, man, I keep my homies in order. Y'all keep y'all peoples in order. No homies gonna get run out of here while I'm here. So we came to an understanding in the yard that day. We came to an understanding of me and the Kings. You know what I mean? From that day forward, you know what I mean? Niggas start running off the shit. Homies start coming in there. They don't have to hide their flags and shit like that. You know what I mean? I start blooding in. I blood in the homie Sleepy. You know what I mean? And shit was just right in there. Shit was right at Orleans. Shit was good. You know what I mean? Niggas was setting out the weed to us. You know what I mean? We had a little thing going with the weed. You know what I mean? And everything was right. But then, you know, on my travels, you got to keep it moving. You know what I mean? And them time I wasn't getting packages like that and shit like that. And nigga came in with some fresh Timberlands, you know what I mean? And you know up north you could get niggas could get a package with Timberlands. Niggas was already pressing, son. He from Long Island, you know what I mean? And then Jamaican niggas gave me a big ass knife. That shit was like 12 inches with jagged edges. Shit looked like a Rambo shit, jail made shit. I'm like, all right, cool. I got this big ass banger. You know, we got the homies living. You know what I mean? This nigga came in with a package, got Timberlands and all that. You know what I mean? Them time I was off some Julius B. Sunny, GKB shit. So what happened was, ran down on the nigga locker, took his Timbs, you know what I mean, on some stick up shit, empty his locker. This bitch ass nigga went and told the police. Ended up going to the box, they found a knife and all of that shit, caught a new charge. Straight to the box. You know what I mean? Left Orleans. The homies was living when I left though. You know what I mean? I went to the box. You see me? Word up. From there, from the box, I went to Attica. Attica, yeah. I reached Attica. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you see how niggas could have just, Poppy them could have just stabbed me up. Because there wasn't no Bloods in there, you know what I mean, when I came. I had outside forces. I'm a real nigga because I used to hustle in the streets. So I had peoples there that help was going to hold me down regardless. You know what I mean? And I ain't going to tuck my flag for nothing. So I let them niggas know, yo, the homies is going to live. And the homies did live in Orleans Correctional Facility. After I left, I don't know what happened. I heard, you know, a few homies came, blew up the spot. A few homies left, blew up the spot. But, you know, the point is what homies, you know, could live. So Troy Lanez, I don't know his situation, but he probably could. When you going against some Spanish niggas, I don't know, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. When you go to jail, you see a division. You could be a man on the street and that's your brethren and that's your boy and he's Spanish and you black and you go to jail, automatically he's gonna pick a side unless he's a strong Spanish nigga that's gonna be like, yo son, fuck that. I'm riding with the black niggas. But slowly, if he got time to do, they gonna slowly recruit him and be like, yo, papa, you family, you the Aztec and all type of shit. They start dropping the history on them niggas. You know what I mean? They gonna ride together. The Jamaicans the Caribbean, well, it's the Caribbean plus Africans and South Americans. They all ride together too. You know what I mean? But the Spanish and the blacks, and if you ganging and you banging or you used to bang, you could get hit because if you go to another jail and somebody could did something to somebody in another jail and you ain't got shit to do with it, you know what I mean? But that nigga's your brother. That's how we end up eating a nigga in the bullpen. You know what I mean? Me and the homie. Because it wasn't no beef with me and the little homie. It was beef with another homie in another cell. Niggas trying to push a spoon down his throat and choke him to death. And whatever happened, they got separated, but the nigga ended up landing right next door to me and my homie. And niggas came up with an elaborate plan to flood our toilet that made their toilet flood, and all four of us had to go to the bullpen. And that's where niggas had to rock and roll at. You know what I mean? But that's how the situation is. Sometimes it don't have to be something that Troy Lanez did that got him stabbed. It could have been guilty by association, or he came to the spot. Or you see, 3 things you don't do in jail, and you keep yourself away from shit. Don't fuck with the homos, right? You fuck with homos, there's a potential you will get stabbed. You know what I mean? Number 2, gambling. If you gamble and you ass bet, or you don't want to pay, you get fucked. And drugs. If you fuck with the drug game and you can't pay, you getting fucked. And don't tell. If you got any kind of snitching on your background, son, you gonna get it. Don't fuck with kids. If you got kids on your rap sheet that you raped, I seen a nigga get fucked up. I ain't even know what was gonna happen. I'm in one I was in Comstock, you got gate. When you go to the yard and you in Key Block, you got cages. You see me? So sometimes you got 4-man, 5-man cages. So one time I'm in I think a 4-man cage or a 3-man cage, and the other homies is in another cage, and we doing push-ups in our cage, and they doing push-ups in their cages, but we all doing push-ups together in one. Yo, son, it's not even funny. This nigga doing push-ups with us, but I don't know what's going on in their cages. You know what I mean? I just see what's going on in my cage. But in their cage, this nigga went down and do some push-ups. That was it. Niggas was on his ass. Niggas was fucking him up, stomping him to the ground, facing the ground, stomping him. After it all said and done, I'm like, yo, why y'all niggas did that to him like that? Niggas like, yo, son, that nigga was in jail for fucking little kids. You got that on your record, you know. You got snitching on your record. You can't pay your bill. You ass bet. You fucking with homies. You know what I mean? You get your hair braided by homies and you down with a gang that don't. Yo, son, I got in Clinton, the amount of homies we was sending up the fuck out of there because, I ain't gonna call it. There's some names like, man, fuck that. You know what I mean? You got niggas like Chaos. You know, Chaos thought he was a bad boy. You know what I mean? We found out the nigga getting his hair braided on the fucking up on the hill by homos. You know what I mean? So he had to get ate out of there. Next nigga, he came out. Niggas said he was fucking with homos. Niggas ain't have no solid proof. I said, yo, son, if a nigga say you fuck with a homo, you just eat the nigga food right there. Don't even try to justify nigga from a nigga accuse you. From you in a circle of niggas and you got your gun on you. And the nigga be like, yo, you be fucking homos. You don't even supposed to talk. You don't, maybe you could say what and then eat them and do them bad and fuck them up. But don't just, this nigga stood there. I say, yo, son, when a nigga tell you that, just eat the nigga food. Just eat short dog food. That's, I forgot the homie name. I think I talked to Germs the other day. I forgot, he told me the homie name. But I forgot the homie name. Germs ate his food. But yo, I say, yo, son, one short dog say, accuse you of that, just eat his food. Don't fuck around. Short dog accused him right there in my face. This nigga walked away. I said, yo, son, you food. Early go back, he went back. Infirmary. He got his food ate. You know what I mean? Prison it's a dangerous world. You can't hide. You know what I mean? I don't know why Troy Lanez got it like that. That's a lot of stabs. Niggas was on his ass. You know what I mean? Niggas was on him. You know what I mean? I hope he was defending himself. He breathing again, so, you know what I mean? But it's gonna go up. And shit like that happen to jail, get locked down. Kites is flying. You know, some Spanish niggas is talking they lingo on the gate sometime. Blah, 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 talking about what they gonna do when the gate open. There's a hit, 2 or 3 hitters right now sharpening they shit. You know what I mean? And it's a very tense situation. And the shit is, it's not just one prison that would go up. Don't think that when shit happen in one prison, it's just one prison be going up. It could be like 3, 4 prisons go up simultaneously. Niggas just boom. As soon as the gate come out, niggas going to chow. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You just hear beep, 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 beep. Some alarm going off somewhere in the building. You know what I mean? You get word on the phone because, you know, niggas know how to communicate real quick. Niggas send word, boom, yo, son, them niggas just moved on us. We just moved on them, boom, boom, boom. Y'all niggas moved on. That's how quick shit could go all the way into the state. From the feds straight to the state if niggas keep it popping like that before a peace treaty is called. But like I said, it's going down. Sorry about Troy Lanez though, man. It's fucked up. The young bull got it like that. You see what women's? I ain't gonna blame it on that stallion chick or whatever chick that is that said he shot her and shit. But one little mistake gets you behind bars. You could lose your life. Nigga got what, 10 joints to do? You know what I mean? And you could lose your life, man. If you ain't pulled back, sometimes right now at my age, go to jail right now. I don't even want to associate with the gangbanging thing, because these young niggas, man, you go to jail, man. Listen, man, put on a kufi and go pray, because I'm seeing a lot of back in the day killers. They turn them Muslim. What the fuck? Yo, the Islamic Society got a lot of mass murderers that chase they like. Yo, the amount of niggas that is affiliated with Islam right now, that's mass murderers. Shit, I should just go to jail and throw in a kufi and, you see what I'm saying? Because you cannot go to jail and fuck with these young niggas, man. They niggas hit. And then the Spanish niggas, yo, listen, man. Get a job. Buy 2 trucks. You know what I mean? Shit ain't working now. Fuck it. Leave it in God's hands. He'll put a surprise for you. But do not try to get locked up. Niggas pull you out on some dumb shit. You jump out the window. Your little 2 years or 5. Right now, I don't even be hearing niggas getting 2 years no more. Niggas be getting 10 and better. It's like they giving out 10 and better. I don't even hear niggas going to the state. All I'm hearing about is this Spanish nigga named Rico. Rico this, Rico that. Rico this, 30 niggas that, 30 niggas this. Listen. I always say this, man. Yeah, I be talking about shit I did while I was Dawu in prison. And shit I did in the past. I might tell you 1 or 2 stories I did in the past. I wasn't really crazy like that. There's crazier people than me. You know what I mean? Bugged out people. You know what I mean? And real serious people too than me. But I told my story so people have a glimpse on what goes on in there, man. There's all type of things going on in there, man. And I pray for the homies in there that don't belong in there. The homies that don't belong in there. Because there's some niggas that they can't let out here, son. Niggas will turn a pastor. Niggas, I know niggas that I talk to on the gate that say when they come out, they gonna turn pastors, and these niggas is gangsters. They ain't got a God. Maybe they got God in their soul, but them niggas is gonna turn pastor not because they found God, just to manipulate that system. You see me? So there's some niggas that when I say, I'm not saying that there's niggas that don't belong in there. I mean, the other day in Jamaica, niggas raped a 9-year-old kid and put her in a barrel and shit like that. That nigga should be buried under the jail. You know what I mean? But in Jamaica, they got something called street justice. So that nigga dead now. I'm sorry for laughing, but that nigga dead. Fuck that. Spit on him too and piss on him. That nigga dead. You can't be raping a 9-year-old girl, putting him in a barrel. You know what I mean? But back to the subject. So I don't know what happened with Troy Lanez and shit, but yo, some of these rappers need to chill out, man. Some of these rappers need to chill out, man, cause you make it to a point. I heard a rapper got killed today. Yeah, a rapper got killed today. I heard a rapper got killed today. Another rapper got killed today. Cause what? I don't know the circumstances, but my man, the whole point of us being in the streets, the whole point of we affiliating with the street is to get a bag. It's not to stack up murders. It's not to be the most dangerous robber. It's to get your bag and get the fuck out of the streets. Get far. Yo, there's some Jamaicans I know when they go to America, they don't even want to see other Jamaicans. And it's fucked up that we as black people gotta stay far from each other to stay out of trouble. But yo, listen, you don't have to stay far because they got positive people out there, you know what I mean? They got positive people that you just gotta move from the company that you know as a G will lead you. If you gonna get that bag and keep your circle small, don't go into the hoods. Don't go around poor people. Let me tell you something. I have a cousin, nigga, he's all right in life. And he said, yo, one of the biggest things to learn, and it's not being biased, but you see the unfortunate people, even I am unfortunate, you know what I mean? That's why Jay-Z don't want to be around me. That's why Nas wouldn't want to be around. I'm unfortunate. It's hard to get, the unfortunate people don't get answered back when they DM a celebrity or important person. You know what I mean? So those important people don't want to answer your DM sometimes because they feel you're unfortunate. You you just gonna bring them down. You know what I mean? And that's the situation. See, when you reach a certain level in life, man, leave certain unfortunate people alone. Don't go where they at. Don't. If you could help them from a distance. Alpo once said he kept his killers at bay. Yeah, son was his killer, but son, when it was time to get money, son makes son go do him as his killer, and you go get your money. Do not mingle in that. You see what I'm saying? Unless you're gonna be a killer, and then when you start doing two things, that's where shit fuck up. You know what I mean? Live positive, man. Don't go down that road, because when you go down that road, there's either a tombstone, a furnace, because you could get cremated now. A lot of families, if you don't got life insurance or you don't got a stash put down, and your mother can't afford to bury you, your ass will get cremated, burnt, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You see what I said? And then if you go to jail on some gang banging, everybody's in a gang right now. It makes gangs look played out. You know what I mean? I mean, we all grew up in different gangs and posses and crews, but you know, gangs ain't just started yesterday. We call gang posses in Jamaica, crews. In New York, it's posses and crews, and then we got gangs now. It's a popular word. Don't worry about it. But the gang culture is wild right now, and you could be guilty by association, man. Hopefully, it wasn't that Troy. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was claiming. You know what I mean? But you gotta know what you're doing when you're in prison, man. You gotta keep your eyes open, man. And when you got them Spanish, if it's really them Spanish niggas moved on them, the Mexicans, that's another difficult situation, because you think war with the Nietas and Latin Kings or something. Try having war with the Laemes. Niggas is sending niggas to your house in the free world. If you ain't built like that, there's some niggas that's really built like that in prison, you know. I ran into niggas, I heard stories, ran into certain niggas. There's niggas that's built like, you fuck with a nigga in prison, and the nigga is a shot caller for real, for real. Niggas got ability to send niggas to your house and page your people them. What you gonna do? Niggas will page you in prison and page you in the streets at the same time. You know, you can't breathe. You ever heard a nigga tell a nigga he can't breathe? He making a nigga can't breathe while he living? That's a different situation. Making a nigga breathe and he dead. Try making a nigga breathe while he's still living. And he can't breathe. Everywhere he turn, he can't breathe. You know what I mean? No, man. Stay out of prison, man. Stay out that lifestyle, man. You heard young bulls? Stay out that lifestyle. Nigga had 2 collapsed lungs. Man, he can't burn that weed no more. He can't burn them cigarettes no more. Probably got a shit bag. You see me, I said? I'm not saying Troy Lanez was living that life. But son, when y'all niggas rapping, man, try to live different. You know what I mean? Try to, rap about something different. Which, matter of fact, when you get that bag, invest in some businesses and get the fuck out the game, man. You don't need to be a rapper forever. Get a bag, get a mill. Everybody want to make $1 million or 500,000 or buy his mom a house or buy yourself a house, meet a nice wife. And that's that, boy. Buy a nice car, get a business. You don't got to be rapping for life, man, because you got to keep up that image as a rapper, wearing chains and going to different cities and performing. Man, listen, man, get that bag, invest in some crypto coins or some stock markets or open some businesses, and your record's still gonna make money on on stream, and that's that. Anyway, man, I'm off the fucking gate, man. Word up, man. Talk, yo, man. Salute to the real niggas, man. We out here. You know what I mean? Subscribe, like, comment. You can comment, you can comment. Nothing wrong with commenting. Just don't call me ugly. I already know I'm ugly. You know, if you want to do facts checks, we could do facts checks. You know what I mean? Word. I said on my Instagram, it's easy as hell to go to prison. Guess what? It's hard as hell to come out of prison without getting touched. You see what I'm saying? Salute to the generals. No. Hold on. X that out. You see that's back in the day shit. I am not affiliated with the homies. I love my homies. I love the homies. Triple O for sure. I passed the age. You won't be seeing me banging. You know what I mean? I ain't no whack 100. Yo, I'm out. I'm off the gate. Lights out.